G'day, Daz here. Only a couple of weeks now and we're off to the canning stock route. So I just thought I'd show you a little bit about what I've done to the cruiser in preparation for this great trip. Starting from the outside, from when this was a standard out of the showroom model, there's been a few changes. So got the bar work, that's the ARB large bar with the brush bars down the side. Never had those before, really keen to see how they go, particularly when we're off-road. I've upgraded the wheels to 16 by 8 steel rims with the BF Goodrich 285 75 16s, and they're the all-terrain BF Goodrich tyres. So really keen, never had those before either, so this is another first. The tray is a custom tray and lockers underneath. The lockers hold recovery gear, spare ropes and bits and pieces. On the back we've got a 100 litre reserve fuel, so that's a fuel supply tank, custom made, and that'll give me well over 1,000-1,200 kilometre range with that and the 130 litre standard tank underneath. The lid there, we've got the dual battery system, so I've put it under the tray to save room. Red arc BC-DC charger, so that supplies charge to the battery and also isolates the battery from the cranking battery. That battery also connects to the camper battery, and they're both identical, so that gives me in total 240 amp hours of power usage, which should be enough for well and truly a few days isolated in the outback. Underneath we've got the shovel. Sorry about the shadow there, but place for the shovel. The two brackets you can see at the back, that's a wood carrier, and I'll show you more on that later. They're just basically the supports for the wood carrier, because obviously with the camper on the back it's very hard to carry firewood, but this is an awesome setup. We had it on the Ranger beforehand. We've customized it to fit on the cruiser and it'll work a treat. The whole vehicle has been upgraded with suspension. It's had the full GVM upgrade from 3.3 ton GVM to 3.95 ton GVM. So basically what that means is we can carry an additional 650 kilos. That's an additional legal weight. The vehicle's now been wrapped in vinyl, so protect the paintwork, particularly for the canning, because there's a lot of overgrowns, and being a fairly new car I'm still a bit precious about the paintwork, so don't want too many scratches if I can help it, so the vinyl will definitely help with that. Gone with the black bonnet just for something a bit different, and that particular vinyl is easier to wrap, particularly over the shape of the bonnet with the large scoop. On the roof cage, which additional storage, which will be really handy. Used it before, got extra stuff to go on there, bins and all the rest of it. So that'll all, when we get the full setup ready to go. King's awning, which just gives us a little bit more shade when we're late up of a night or even through the day for lunch. Spotlights. These ID LED combo, and they're an awesome light, they really are. great range and plenty of light, particularly in the outback when you find that most animals out there are bigger than we are. So these are great to show up the night and keep us safe. I fitted a winch this time, so that'll be handy to use. Never really used one before. Look, maybe I don't need it, but who knows? If it saves me once, then that'll certainly pay for itself. Got the GME two-way radio system, and that's only the little stubby antenna at this stage, but I'll put the other one on later. The other bracket is for a sand flag, and you definitely need a sand flag with the desert crossings with the sand dunes. So the sand flag simply clips in. It's 3 meters tall, and certainly gives us a lot of protection, well, safety I guess, when crossing sand dunes and alerting other travellers coming the other way that we're about to pop up over the top. Inside the vehicle, I've shown you photos of this before, but this is my custom built storage compartment, taking out the back seat. Behind the back seat, or behind the storage compartment, I've got a compressor which is hardwired, so that will provide onboard air with air hose already plugged in, ready to go. Solar panel, that's just there just to sort of make sure it works. I'm carrying it around for a week or so. We've got provisions on the other side for the fridge, the Waco 50 litre fridge. We'll be using that as a freezer. We've got a fridge in the camper, and we need additional freezer space because we'll be at least 3 weeks from any shops, and got to have steak. In the cab, I've got a engine readout display. Got the HEMA HN7, which is not the newest model HEMA, but it certainly works for us. This was a replacement from the previous model, and it's been great. It really has. It has been with us the whole time. We've got the paper maps to go with it, but we always use the HEMA system, and shows us exactly where we are and where we want to be. So that's awesome. Two-way radio. This is the small GME unit. The actual unit itself is tucked down in behind the cup holder, and everything else is on the mic. So channel change, volume control, scan, the whole lot, it's all on the mic. And the speaker system is interesting because you can either have the speaker coming out of the small unit behind, or the speaker coming out of the handset, or a combination of both. So we've sort of got it balanced, so both myself and Kylie can hear what's going on, and that works really well. I've also got an additional handheld radio which we'll have set to just a monitoring station, particularly on the canning. We've got one radio which will be tuned into all of us travelling together, and the other one tuned in channel 40, so we can listen to who else is on the track and also be able to communicate with them. So that works really well, and really I recommend to anyone to have a two radio system, whether it be inbuilt or one inbuilt and one handheld. Under the bonnet, still running the standard 4.5 litre diesel turbo. What I've added in addition, and really it's not only for the trip, but something I'd recommend to anyone who does any off-road travel or any long distance travel. Certainly I fitted a catch can, so that's not unusual these days. A catch can separates the oily vapours, and particularly running with the common rail diesels, all the vapours go through the EGR system, and over time that will clog up and fail. So the catch can really helps to be able to separate the oily vapour and put clean air through the engine, and the oil collects in the can, which can be drained out at the required time really. The other thing is a second fuel filter. Now you never know when you might get a bad dose of fuel, and this just protects that from happening. or protects that from being an issue with your engine. So that'll collect water in the bottom, you can drain it out, and it's just another level of protection that really doesn't come with the standard vehicle. 3-inch exhaust system, that's a stainless steel exhaust, just a aftermarket, buy it, bolt it together, put it in, and that's a DPF backed 3-inch pipe, just a straight through pipe, which just helps with the airflow, gives it a little bit of a note, but you know, not too much, and but certainly helps with the performance without going to the lengths of re-chipping or remapping, which I haven't done as yet. Well, that about wraps it up for the vehicle setup, and next I'll put the camper on the back and we'll go through that and show you the setup for that.